Wow. Welcome to the Cuck Corner, everybody. I hope you're here. Have your book in hand. Once again, reading a classic today, Journey to the Center of the Earth, sucks ass. There you go. What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
For one, I like the book personally.
That's mentally challenged. And I can say that because it's okay to say.
Sterling, you listen to the Spotify podcast, right? I'm not the podcast, the audiobook, right?
I did. You better not say what I think you're gonna say.
I like the narrator of that one.
You're high. You're absolutely high. You are. I don't know how else to say this, buddy. But
I mean, did you know?
did you do an edible before and you were just feeling it or something? I don't know.
Like the way that he narrated the two different main characters.
Absolutely not. I mean, yeah, cool. You can do two different voices, but you're like
He didn't even do two different voices. He sounded like some posh asshole British man who couldn't even do his own accent right.
Well, he did. No, you didn't hear that part. He did do two different voices. It's just that they were both pompous, British assholes. So
he had a stick so far up his ass, it was fucking his voice box.
My favorite part was when he narrated Hans's part, but Hans never talked. So
Hans,
I just liked when he wasn't talking. Is kind of what I'm saying.
Dude,
an audiobook right there.
When you
played for liking that,
he said, "Dude, he already likes the book," and then he says he already tell the what was the rating he gave, Arjun? Tell Sterling the rating he gave.
I gave it a 3.5 personally.
He gave it higher than Cody. He gave it higher than fucking Cody.
Cody, break down the metrics that we're using for the skill rating.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up just so I make sure I get it right.
He gave it a 3.5.
I'm not saying it's an amazing book.
Oh, you put the jar with a 3.5.
A 1 is didn't like it. Hold on. Sorry.
Blank.
Wrong spot.
Endorse the Goodreads here. We need our ad read.
Yeah. 1 is did not like it. 2 is it was okay. 3 is liked it. 4 is really liked it. And 5 is it was amazing.
You're close to really liked it, Arjun.
Yeah, it was good. It hit some. It felt like it.
Why was it good? Why was it good to you, Arjun? Go ahead.
A book that has the flavor of the 1800s and that feels like an adventure, an expedition, then there was no better book, I'd say.
Dude, you're.
At least from what I've read.
I can't find a book that takes place in the 1800s has adventure. There's no other fucking book out there. You're crazy. This wasn't an adventure. This could have been an adventure. This was like an adventure told by a demented old man who only knows 3-syllable words to describe everything. And it was just terrible. And anytime you thought something fun was going to happen, it didn't. It didn't happen. This book blue-balled you to infinity.
When did you think something fun was going to happen?
Oh, I thought some exciting or fun would happen with the sea serpents, with the humanoid.
Yes.
When they were climbing down at the beginning, that was over in a flash. And the ending pissed me off. I knew it was going to happen. Even though, technically, I guess it was the first of its kind to do that trope where it's like, oh, we're stuck in the middle of the earth. How do we get out real quick? And then they do like a fucking volcano shoot up the Earth's glory hole or butthole or whatever. And as soon as that happened, I said, I'm absolutely fucking furious. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I'm like,
I knew he was going to be mad as soon as I finished the book and he was already upset. I was like, he's going to hate that ending.
The ending's not even good. It's just not even an ending, or it's not even a sad. I don't know. Endings are never satisfying, but goddamn, that one was. Oof.
Endings are hard to do.
Sure, but I knew what the ending was, and then it happened, and I was mad. There was like an hour and a half left. I said, I know they're gonna get shot up from the fucking a volcano. I said, there's no other way. They're either dying down here, which there has been no elements of stress or anything in this whole book. They're gonna die down here, which he's not gonna do because the writer's a cuck and he's not gonna write anything exciting. And then they shot him up, and that's what happened. I'm like, there are either two ways: Like, they're not going to die because he's a cuck, and he's not going to write something interesting that happens. So he's going to cop out and do the first trope of this kind and send him up a volcano. And I was pissed.
Stress with
No, there wasn't.
almost
The-
dying of dehydration.
we love that. That was the argument we made yesterday. We love that was the best moment. Other than the beginning, the two highlights, the two fun parts, which also the beginning blue balled you. That was the first blue ball, you know? It's like, oh man, we're getting ready for an adventure. And then you spend like 8 chapters fucking pronouncing towns that I can't even remember and talking to people and describing everything and Axel being a little bitch. And then finally we get to the volcano. I don't know, like 2 or 3 hours into the fucking audiobook. So at the beginning, the first few chapters, like, oh man, we're in town. We gotta decipher this thing. Let's fucking go. And then it was boring, and it got boring, and then he got lost, and then it was fun again because I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of interesting now. You're doing an interesting thing. And then fuck off. They show the serpents. Then they see the serpents. That's it. See the humanoid. That's it. Don't even bother with it. There you go. It's like there's like another exciting scene happening over there, and the writer's like, "No, I won't put that in my book. That's in a different book." There you go.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of exciting stuff that did happen, but I think the writing was very bland and made it not exciting.
It was bland, and he didn't make exciting things happen either. I mean,
I think exciting stuff did happen. It's just the way it was.
More exciting things happened. You could have had the serpents or the underwater things do something more cool.
I mean, they were fighting each other over. I mean, it's to eat everybody.
They can't like I don't know, like fucking eat or something, or come up from the water. They don't even come up from the water, do they?
Yeah,
they don't come up from the water. Were they underwater on the part? Oh, they see him underwater fighting?
No.
I don't. They come up. I don't think they come up. I don't know. I don't remember that part. If I did, I wish I did. It must not have been exciting. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the writing in general was pretty dull, which made the exciting things not exciting. But I think there were exciting things.
You got to give me on the humanoid thing though. They saw it and they left. Come on.
I mean, really? They did something more with that.
Come on.
Well, here's what they did do. They destroyed the entire ecosystem down there, so all those humanoids are gonna die.
Yeah, what did they do? Did they like start a fire?
They drained that entire sea.
I did think about that.
So everything down there is probably gonna die.
It got shot up. Where'd they end up? In fucking Stromboli or something like that?
It's like, is it in Italy or near there?
Somewhere,
Greece?
I don't know.
Somewhere around there.
That book sucked, dude.
I think it's Greece.
A 2. I give it a 2.
Hey, yeah. Also a 2. It was okay.
I'll admit it's not a 1. I just gave it a 1 because I was pissed off. I'm still pissed off.
Are you adjusting that rating then?
No, I'm gonna leave it as a 1.
Well, what the heck? You can't say it's a 2.
It's a 2, but I don't give a fuck.
You better fix it. No,
I'm not. I'm making it a 1. I'm making it a 1 on there.
Better fix it.
No. Okay, I'll meet in the middle. You fix yours to a 2. I'll fix mine.
No, mine's a.
Then fuck off. I'm keeping it a 1. I'm not. If you're not fixing yours to a 2,
yours was a 2.
Yeah, but I'm not moving if Cody ain't moving.
But you're not moving from a 2?
No, I'm not moving from a 1. Online.
Yeah, he gave it a 1.
I was
update your rating, and then he's
no, I'm not updating it unless Cody updates his because he's wrong. It's not a 3.
Wait,
Erling, is it a 3?
No.
Why?
No way, no.
I'm so glad someone else hated this. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
what's your 5-point ranking?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's a 2. But I could downgrade to a 1. If you...
Oh, yeah. How do we get you there, Sterling? What do I have to do to get you down to a 1? Because I want to go.
I gotta get some 1s in your guys' hands.
Out there.
Yeah,
one book.
Yeah, I don't think you guys know what a 1 is. So this is.
It's going to be the stupid fucking philosophy books that Sterling's going to
Those
pick.
aren't a 1.
Those are going to be an absolute 1. I'm going to hate those. Oh, God. Just pick a fucking, like a fiction book with some goddamn stakes and fun or something. There wasn't. There wasn't. I
Yes,
knew
there
how it
was.
gonna
There
end.
was.
I knew how this was going to end. I knew how it went. It
more
was
pages in the book.
Nobody died. Nobody. Nothing happened.
Still more pages. That's what you
Nothing happened in the whole damn book. Nothing happened, man.
A lot of stuff happened. I just
What are your favorite parts of the books, if you had to say?
None. The favorite parts were
Okay.
for me and Sterling. Go ahead. You go.
I liked the beginning. So like chapter 3 or something like that, they were talking about ciphers. I love puzzles. That's great.
Okay, well, I'm not that
However,
big of a dork.
It was a bad puzzle because it was only solvable by the two douchebags in the room. It's not like the audience could be like, "Oh yeah, I know what that means."
Well, if you knew Latin,
Okay, yeah. What? We all know Latin.
Yeah, they all do Latin back in the 1800s, man. Don't you know?
We just brush up on that bullshit.
I liked the beginning because it was just getting ready for adventure. You know, that's always fun. What was the other part we liked, Sterling?
I don't know. There were other parts.
What was the other?
the part where he got lost.
Yeah, we liked the part where he got lost.
He got lost in the cave, and it was stressful.
Yeah.
Feel the tension. I thought that was good.
Yep. I'm right there with you. Those were the only two good parts. Everything else sucked ass.
Yep.
I either can't remember it. It was so dull it made me want to sleep, or it was just boring. I hated this book, man.
Was the so you know how like when they were like traversing the tunnels and stuff, they as they were like walking, they already like left Iceland, like the distance they were traveling was like much larger than was like humanly possible.
Dude, they were doing like thousands of miles in like 2 days.
Like
They spent 2 months down there.
Yeah, but like the first few days, they were already like a few hundred miles down.
It was very strange how they were like traversing so much land in such a small amount of time.
I think
you probably just missed a dumbass explanation of like some gravity or
Yeah.
the light balls sped up their journey. So you would have known that if you would have studied in elementary dumb shit. But
It's called non-Euclidean geometry, right?
well, sure, but that's like
I don't
bullshit.
think there's any of that going on. I don't.
Sure, but they do bullshit bioluminescence for why the fucking
what's
underground.
not bullshit? That's what I'm saying.
It's like the northern lights.
Yeah,
It's a
fine.
giant
For it.
fucking cave down here. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, sure, but it's a giant fucking cave.
If
Sure
they
makes
had
sense.
actual non-Euclidean geometry, I'd be like, oh damn, that is an interesting plot point. But
No,
it's
when
just like
explanation for how they can travel so much distance.
I don't know if I'm pretty
I
sure they
don't have-
traveled an actual just like realistic amount of distance.
They did
He's
not
usually-
travel over realistic.
He's usually pretty good about that because I don't know if you've heard of 80. What is it? 80 days around the world or
80?
something. But what is that?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
I've heard of that.
I mean, that's a lot easier to do than fucking going underground in like a month.
Yeah, but I'm
It's
just saying,
serialized,
like,
Cody. They got to get the books out. They can't write a whole
It is
book about
serialized.
in the tunnel.
So, well, hold on. Let me back up here. So that
So it is actually possible, like the distance they covered in the time.
No, it ain't.
Oh, I don't know. I would assume so because the around the world in 80 days is what it is. I think someone like actually like did that path that was laid out in that book, like with the methods that were available at the time, and they made it with like 40 days to spare or something like that. So I think he's generally pretty good about that kind of stuff. You know, he tries to keep it pretty grounded.
They didn't have 40 days to spare and 80 days around the world.
No, he's saying someone did it in real life.
Oh, well, yeah, in real life.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's just pulling numbers out of his ass. I think he's, I think it's, realistic numbers unless he got better at that later in his career. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think
one was
more time passed than maybe what it seemed.
Maybe.
For their travels, it's a pretty short book, so
put in the comments.
They were down there
Put in the
like
comments. How long did it take? Put in the comments.
Well, just Google it.
I'm not Googling it.
2 months. They were down there 2 months. What do you?
Yeah, they traveled like a few thousand miles in like 2 months.
Yeah, that's
Downhill?
with downhill. You're gonna cover
On rocks?
ground. The rocks might be a little different, but they're
They're
also
also straight
sailing
ahead,
for a lot
too.
of it too.
And then they got lost.
For a couple days. Yeah, it was like 3 days.
Well, knowing they didn't go that. No, it didn't make sense. I felt like they traveled way too quick.
Wait, Cody, do you know how long the overall expedition was?
I don't know. No, it's saying 2 months.
Because I know that they had 6 months worth of rations.
Not water.
No,
Yeah,
they
not
had
water.
weeks worth of water though.
Yeah, they were dumb fucks, man. So stupid.
They were such idiots.
I mean, what
That is the point of the book. That's the point of the book, guys. I did get that. That was the point of the book. That smart people are stupid. I caught on
I
that.
got that
pretty
part.
quick.
Yeah.
I caught on that. I pointed that out for everyone, by the way.
Oh, sure.
my ass. I mean the week's worth of water thing. I don't think it's terrible because I mean if you think about it, water is very heavy, right? So it's like it's not very realistic to be able to carry a bunch of water, and they're hoping that there is water along the way because how else would that other guy get down there, especially if he was alone?
Everything was luck based in this book. Everything was absolutely luck based.
Yeah, well, they also brought that up at the end. The professor is like, Harry, haven't you noticed, or sorry, not Harry, Axel, haven't you noticed, like how we keep miraculously getting through all these events?
Yeah, it's like they have plot armor.
Yeah. Also, there's 2 translations of the book, and Noah had the other one,
Yes.
Harry and Hardwig instead of
Yeah.
Axel and Liedenbrock. So,
Yeah. Arjun, I think you're an absolute mong for giving us a 3.5, man.
What are our thoughts on a theory that there was no center of the earth and this whole thing was like a fever dream as they were like slowly all dehydrating to death in the caves?
I mean, they didn't make it to the center of the earth.
True. Well, like before they even get to the biomes or anything like that.
Did they make it to Sag Newsom's spot? Didn't they make him to?
No.
Did they make it there? They didn't.
I mean, he carved his name.
Potentially.
Yeah, I remember they used to call it as a rock or whatever.
Yeah, I guess he
That was-
technically could have only got to there and then stopped, but the idea
I
is
think.
they could go down further.
I think when the professor saw that there was like a giant fucking cavern down here, it should be like, all right, boys, go up, get some help, instead of fucking draining the giant fucking lake. What's up with that?
Well,
Wait,
I
what?
don't think they intentionally drained the lake.
Oh, yeah, but he's still a cuck because he kept going in. It's like, well, you get some boys down here. Let's fucking mine this shit up,
I mean, at that
Well,
point,
they-
there's like no way they're getting back up.
It was like a straight line.
Forever.
They did
Yeah,
on
but-
the river, but yeah, when
They had water, but it would take way longer than it took to come down and be a lot
Yes,
more
they're
work.
stuck. So he knew they were going to get stuck. Like, how you don't know you're going to get out. You
Well,
don't know
see,
there's a giant
he
volcano,
knows that it's possible to get out because the other guy made it down and got out. So he's like, well, there must be an easy way out.
What
'cause
if,
this
what
guy
if he
did it."
wrote something and he said that he got out and he didn't?
what he carved his name in that rock though. Like
Yeah,
once
but
they're down there,
that was
that's
like
where they
way
go
in
down.
there. That was like way in there. They wouldn't have known. They got stuck down there.
But like, I think there are other things that guy had done that he was like, oh yeah, this guy's probably not, lying.
Every book,
Can't remember what they were because I read it, 3 months ago. But
every book from the 1800s is Moby Dick. This was a Moby Dick story.
have you read Moby Dick?
Yeah. The Spark Notes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I doubt it, but
Well, all they fucking do is Ahab just chases the whale
okay.
and doesn't look at anything. Then he got the professor chasing his center of the earth, not caring about anything. So there you go. Every book is Moby Dick.
Well, I'm glad that we
No
just
way.
suggested we're reading Moby Dick next.
No, we're not reading that. That's way too fucking long. Still not gonna read that.
What?
That's how-
that
Wait,
one.
what's next?
Moby Dick, man.
Oh, no, I've read that.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
good.
That's a good
Let's get
one.
back in there.
That's
Oh,
a good one.
Yeah.
I might be. All right.
I think I did.
I want to read that. Stop picking books from the goddamn 12th century.
It's not the 12th century.
The 19th century, please and thank
Yeah.
Just pick a fucking book from now, man. That's all I ask.
Sorry, I'll pick 50 Shades Freed for our next one.
Please do. I'd rather read that. At least I'll be miserable and sexually turned on at the same time.
I don't know if you will be turned on.
The talking points in this book.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Arjun.
I was asking if we've covered all the topic, the talking points for this book here before we wrap it up?
Wrap it up. We got like 3 hours to go.
3 hours to go. What
That was
It's a
just the
pod-
intro.
Yeah, that's just the intro. This is a podcast, man. You know, we got to get some ad read time on there. Gotta get some commercials.
All right,
Take it away. You're the guy who hasn't had the conversation yet. We've
my.
already done all the talking before. You got to talk about the whole book. What was your favorite parts?
My favorite part was also the beginning, and like I liked traveling through Iceland as well. I thought that was interesting.
You truly thought that you really think this is 3.5?
I liked the dynamics between Lindenbrock and the peasants, the houses of the peasants that he visited.
Yeah, somebody gave his wife to her. Already had the point. Offered his wife, excuse me.
I don't know about that exactly, but
That did happen.
Yeah, it's what happened. It was like a thing back then because, you know, their gene pool was so like limited back in the day that, you know, it was good manners to offer your wife to any visitors.
To guests. That happened in the book. How can you say it's a 3.5 book, but you didn't even pay attention to that part?
oh my, I misinterpreted it perhaps.
Oh, if you misinterpreted that, you must have misinterpreted the whole fucking book to give it 3.5.
How many didn't they have like a lot of kids? How many passerbys would he have needed then?
What? Who?
Well, I wouldn't assume that they're all from a visitor. I would assume a majority are probably from the husband.
Yeah, fair.
Who's your favorite character, Arjun?
I liked Axel the most.
Oh, yeah, it was the
That's-
worst.
He is pretty bad.
He's like the ground.
I
You're experiencing the story like through his like perspective the most.
yeah, and he's a simp and a bitch. He's a simp because all he can talk about is Groyben for I don't know the first half of the book, and he's a bitch because he's on a lighthouse and he's crying his eyes out.
I think they had a good juxtaposition, if you will, him and Lindenbrock.
Nah, Lindenbrock's a cunt. He's hoarding water.
I mean, he was hoarding it for Axel.
No. I'm calling BS on that. He just did it. He just did it to get his own means. He needed his nephew to go with him. He didn't do that out of love. He did that out of necessity.
I don't think so.
He did it out of necessity, man.
Wait, what do you think,
What about him saving the water for Axel?
Cody? Yeah.
I think it was a selfless action.
Selfless action. He's an old man. He probably didn't remember he had the water until like last second.
He knew he had it, and he offered it.
No. He offered it because Axel was being a little bitch. And he wouldn't have continued.
All right, I'm gonna rapid fire through my notes here.
Oh.
They were taken post read, so not super in depth. Some background information. This was originally released as a serialized novel, and I do feel like there are certain chapters where you feel that, you know, where it's like, oh, obvious cliffhanger for, you know, serialized novel, right?
Yeah, it definitely comes through, I think.
Yeah. And a lot of Jules Verne, at least from what I've seen, a lot of his novels seem to be like a teaching tool as well as entertainment, right? Because it talks about some like actual science stuff, right? But then, you know, puts just enough, you know, mustard on it to make it, you know, a science fiction novel, right? Not completely grounded in reality, I guess. And I read 20,000 Leagues. I think the same thing kind of applies. But yeah, I mean, that was probably a good idea back in the day, right? To have, you know, education built into the entertainment, right? Because then you get a little more out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, it was originally written in French, so, you know, it was translated to English. And I already mentioned there's two major translations in English. There's the OG one, which is, I think most people don't really like that one. That's the one with, you know, Harry and Hardwig, and then the one that came a little later. That's Axel and Lidenbrock. So yeah, that's my background information to throw in there. Harley with his very insightful thoughts on the book mentioned that the whole book really revolves around people overvaluing the importance of intelligence and not asking for help, because it makes them seem like they don't know what they're doing, right? But these so-called educated people are not, so-called educated people are being continuously saved by the more ignorant person around them, right? So like when they're running out of water, right, they hear like water running on the other side of the rock, and then Axel and Otto both just kind of throw themselves down. They're like, oh well, we're lost, we can't get this water, we're just gonna die because it's behind the rock. Then Hans just goes over, picks up a pickaxe, and he just starts chipping away, and then all of a sudden they realize what he's doing, and I don't know, they're like, go Hans, go, and then I don't then the river starts, and then I have a quote here. They named it the Hansbach River, because they're naming it after Hans, and I think that they might have commented that they called it Hansbach to make it seem like a well-educated man or something, named after a well-educated man. They compared the river to a kindly genius who's guiding them underground. Well, when it's running down the rocks, it's kind of funny because it was not the act of a traditional genius that created the river or saved them or anything, right? But yet they're still talking about it as if a genius man is saving him here,
What would be the more accurate term if not genius then?
I don't know. I mean, not a human. I don't know. Guide, tour guide. So, and I think you can apply it to the initial cipher as well, because the professor's like set up as like this very well-educated man, and just by dumb luck, Axel figures out the key to it, whereas the professor's been like trying to figure this out for like I don't even know how long. It was a significant amount of time, right? Because they weren't eating or anything because he was so busy with work. So,
Oh, I love that part, by the way. Taking the whole house hostage on like a hunger strike until he uses it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was like, it's like, do I even tell him? I don't know if I want to tell him because I don't want to do this, So it was pretty funny. But also, I think you could kind of apply this to they chose the wrong path initially, but the professor is like, hey, we're sticking to this, even though they were running out of water, right? It's like at a certain point, you should be like, hey, we're gonna run out of water. If we don't find water like immediately, we do turn back and go back up and talk about a new plan, right? But yet they went whole hog here, and they went all the way down the path. They got to a dead end, and they're like, oh well, now we got to go all the way back, and we are absolutely not gonna have enough water to get out, So, and then they blew up a giant hole in the wall in the center of the earth, and drained the underground lake. That was the actions again of a well-educated men, right? They decided, we need to put all of our explosives here and just blow the biggest hole possible. So,
yeah, I don't know if I got that picked up on that at all, really, because I think if maybe there were more people than beside just the professor that would have come across more, but it's just like the professor is dumb, even though he's smart.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, though, like Axel makes the bad decisions as well, and also even you say her name's Sprouse Groyben.
Royman.
I mean, she's probably well educated as well, you know, considering she's an assistant to the professor, and she's like, "Oh yeah, actually, you should go on that trip." You know,
Dude, they
sounds
couldn't
very
even
exciting.
write back then. They weren't educated.
I mean, maybe not, but I mean, if you're an assistant, I have to assume that you know you have some sort of.
Oh, you said no to speak.
Yeah, I also I swear she didn't have that line in my version of the book.
Yeah, and she might not have. I don't know.
Which line was it?
It's just
the-
Just saying that.
like that. You should
Oh.
go on the trip.
Oh, in my version, yeah, she was encouraging Axel as well.
Yeah.
Like, she'd
Why-
make him a man or something out of it or something.
Yeah, you're saying he was calling him a little bitch. It was like, you better go on this, or hey, oh, closing up the hey. Oh.
One note I had here is how could Axel get lost underground? Like that seems like it's very tough for you to one, take a wrong path, right? And lose the river, but also lose the two people that are
Well, how did
with you. Like how did no one notice? Like,
how did
no one
Hans not notice? They're paying Hans here, man, to keep track of these two idiots, and he didn't even do half his job.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was on Hans, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
It's on everyone, honestly.
It's on it. Yeah, it's on.
But there's a river, so like Axel should have followed the river, and if he wasn't following the river, someone should have noticed that he wasn't in front.
Yeah,
of
you
them
should notice
anymore.
immediately when one of the
Maybe he was in the back, but I don't know. I feel like you'd notice when there's one less person, you know, out of three. So I don't know.
Maybe it just became so monotonous, Cody, and you just can't, keep your head straight.
Yeah, I mean,
All the rocks look the same,
probably, but I don't know.
as they describe every single rock in the tunnel.
I've got a note here. It says, if you think there's too much rock talk in this, there's way more fish talk in 20,000 Leagues.
I would have adored fish talk over.
There's
rock.
not that much rock talk, in my opinion.
If there's rock talk.
There is rock talk,
That's too much rock talk.
and it's a bit of a meme, to talk about. I love rocks when you were talking about this book,
But there is rock talk. You admitted that.
yeah, I mean they talk
Which
about
okay,
because that's
but
what they're
that's
surrounded.
too much
by.
rock talk. That's too
That's what
much.
they're surrounded by. That's what the
Once you talk
professor's
about one
specialty
rock,
is.
that's too much rock talk.
That's what the professor's specialty is.
Every rock's the same, man.
That's not true.
But every fish, not the same. I want to see all kinds of fish.
Well, then why don't we say
Rock.
all the rocks are the same when they're different?
Because fish are interesting. Rocks aren't interesting.
Maybe to you,
I'm gonna offend the two geologists in the audience right now.
you're offending me.
These think I give a shit. You offended me with this goddamn book.
I didn't pick it. Well,
Yeah, but you enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Okay, then. You offend me by that.
I also have a note here that says I love Stromboli.
Yeah.
Because of the city that they showed up in after coming up through the volcano. How none of them got burned during that is beyond me.
Yeah. And they're going
Crazy.
fast too, I bet.
I have a note here that I felt like the characters weren't particularly well fleshed out. I believe that it invented the nutty professor trope. And
Yeah.
Hans might have been the most fleshed out despite not speaking much and not speaking English, just because, he's constantly, taking care of these two because of his employment, right? Axel, I felt like the whole time he was just kind of like, well, I guess I'm following my uncle, And Groyben, I mean, she doesn't talk much, but why would she encourage her fiance to go on this perilous journey to the center of the earth, right?
Maybe that was her whole ploy, to get a new fiance, Or she was doing like the army thing where it's like, oh man, my man's on the army, time to fuck.
I mean, maybe, but
Oh, you give your wives away, but the army theory, no, that's not cool. Sorry, go ahead.
So the one change I did notice, I think, is towards the end, Axel. So I felt like the whole time Axel was trying to live up to his uncle, right? But then by the end, I think he finally accepts the fact that he doesn't need to become more well accomplished, his uncle, to be successful, right, in life. So, and one other note here, we already talked about these, but yeah, they did not go in with much water, and I guess if they expected to find a spring, but I would imagine that's not probably super common in volcanic regions.
Not a good idea to back on it.
I mean, I guess their thinking probably was the one guy found water, must have found water.
Right. Well, and the fact that water is happy, like I said, it's not very practical to have a lot of water. But you
They
know,
should have brought. Here's what they should have done. They should have brought like 18 guys down, so a bunch of people could have died as fodder. So it would have been fun. If
okay.
people would have died down there, that would have been pretty sick.
A larger team for the expedition would have, I think.
Yeah, so we can get some people to kill off. You know,
Just from like a logistical point of view.
I don't give a shit about that. Why do I care about logistics when I'm reading a book? I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Good time.
Speaking
Over
of
the weekend
logistics,
fun.
what does 2 months of food look like?
I assume it's a lot of dried biscuits and
Yeah, but like how much room does 2 months of food for one person take up?
I don't know, especially if it's like, you know,
MREs are
you're active the whole time. Well, MREs even like, I mean, that's
They're pretty bulky.
you need quite a bit.
Yeah, because they had 3 people's worth, 2 months of food for 3 people.
Yeah.
And they were carrying that with all their other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to what that might look
What
like.
do you think, Sterling? I know you're doing a
I'm not
Final
done.
Fantasy raid. What do you think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Let Sterling continue.
Also, yeah, they didn't put much thought into getting out, but you know, you get to say the same thing. You know, another guy already got out, so
Well, I remember that the initial plan was just to come out the way that they came in. That's what Lynn and Brock's first idea
Yeah.
was.
all right, I'm done now.
Sterling, what do you think
What I think about what
about the book?
it was a 2.
Go ahead and elaborate.
It was just boring. There's nothing exciting. Everything was just a goofy little fun tale where, you know,
It wasn't even goofy,
yeah. It was pretty goofy. It was very goofy in my.
but not goofy fun. It was like goofy, not fun.
I think it was fun. It was just the writing wasn't fun. Yeah,
Well, if the writing's not fun, how can it be fun?
like the actions.
You had something
were
there.
taken
You had the
from-
blueprints of a fun story.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You just decide to write pompous descriptions and bullshit on that blueprint.
Pompous?
Yeah, it was.
No.
Sterling, was it pompous?
Yes.
Well, don't ask him
Alright.
because he hated.
Oh,
the narrator
okay.
for
Arjun, was it
Pompous voice.
pompous?
I don't think so. It felt like
Fuck off.
it felt like a high school book for like the 1800s, maybe.
That's the other thing I was gonna say is I do feel like it was targeting younger people.
God, those poor kids. Oh, how can you get to 3.5, Arjun? It wasn't even good. Noah gave it a 2.
I mean, I can see where he's coming from. I just thought the
You
writing
can see where he's
was
going
bland.
for a 3.5? You're crazy, especially with that fucking narrator he heard. Sterling would gouge his ears out on that.
And he
Well,
was
it's the narrator.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's a narrator, but
Sure.
still, you think that would
have?
yeah, but you still think it would affect.
I think the
The story.
narrator would definitely affect your enjoyment.
Okay, yeah, and it shouldn't because it is irrelevant, but it should have affected.
Well,
it.
no, I think it is relevant.
It shouldn't be
Irrelevant
It
to this
should-
conversation.
Oh, no, how is it irrelevant?
I didn't do an audiobook. I didn't do an audiobook.
You all have an audiobook.
We all, he didn't even have the same audiobook.
It's something to bring up. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's something to talk about.
I mean, I could upload myself reading Cat in the Hat, and you could be like, "Wow, that guy's a piece of shit." It's like, okay, well, it doesn't change the fact that it was the Cat in the Hat at the end of the day, you know.
It does if the narrator's reading it with a fucking somber voice and like another guy reads it all fun and happy
I think
or
the
with a
Spotify
fake
version was-
British accent. Did you hear that, Sterling?
What's that? Sorry.
Say again. No, Arjun didn't lie again.
The Spotify version was quite fun and happy when compared to the YouTube version that's uploaded there.
Yeah.
There's like a million YouTube.
I got Tim
versions.
Curry, baby. I got Nigel Thornsberry. And while he wasn't the greatest, he was all right.
Yeah, the
But
guy.
that one that Sterling played, oh man, you should listen to that Spotify. You're crazy if you think that guy was good. That narrator was good.
It's a good like
So, my boy,
That's
now to the center of the earth.
that's who he read.
Find a great. We will solve a great mystery, my boy.
He sounded like he was doing a Santa Claus voice the whole time. He was so bad.
See, Harley, it's
The whole time.
time.
8 hours and 48 minutes.
I hope that guy goes back to pumping gas and not reading Spotify books. He was not good. I heard 5 seconds of him, and I wanted to pull my eardrums out. Is that and now? If you got a good narrator or read the book yourself, Sterling, do you think your score would have been higher?
Dude, say that again?
If you would have had a better narrator or read the book yourself, do you think your score would have been higher?
If I would have read it myself, I think my score would have been the same.
Not like a
Why?
2.5 or a 3?
I don't think I'd still would say like it was okay, but it's like a low 2 for me right now because of that Spotify narrator. If
So
I read it,
Yeah.
What?
Drawing dot.
If you just read it, and then what we heard,
if I just read it, I think it'd be fine. It's
it would have been a mid 2 instead of a
like
low
I would
2.
have had my own head voices, and it'd be fine.
Yeah, but then it would have been your own head. I don't want to. When I read a book, I don't want to hear my own voice. That's disgusting. I don't want to hear my own voice in the head. I want to read a good narrator. I think a good narrator can do a real good job to a book, and put it on a level even better.
Yeah.
I do think that there are really good narrators who can do really good voices and a good narration and can make the book better. And also, I don't have to read words. So
I don't know. Even I've heard a couple others, like just recently, where I've tried to start a book, like an audiobook, and I've been like, nah, I can't do it.
Well, here's the great thing: is if we do another book, you got to read it. So at least
Yeah,
we're all
that's fine.
miserable,
That's
except Cody. Ugh. There you go, Arjun. There's our journey to the center of the earth. Any other comments?
I got Axel's pretty annoying.
He's annoying and he is a bitch.
Yeah, every 2 seconds he'd flip flop between oh, I'm scared, we should go back, Uncle. And like, oh man, this is the coolest thing ever. Let's go.
Yeah, at the end of the book, he was like a ride or die.
Yeah, but then 2
Yeah.
seconds later he's like,
Yeah, then he was
we're
like,
gonna
"This is
die.
bad."
We're all gonna die.
Yeah. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, how do you think you would be in that situation?
I would have left. I would have gone. I would have gone down a bit, and then after I noticed like half hours ago, I'm like, fuck this. I would have left. I'm not going down there to die.
Well, to be fair, I don't think you'd really know how to get back because you wouldn't have the guide with you. Because I think the guide was bound to.
Well, we've only been down for like 5 days. I think I'd risk it. I'm not going down deeper. Like, why would I go down deeper? And I'm gonna die.
You'd also have to find your way back at the top, like once you even get out of like all the.
Well, it was mostly a straight shot.
True, but this is like in Iceland, first of all, and it's like
Okay. Once I'm back up, I could probably. The village wasn't too far from their whatever their hole. So I think I could find the village. I don't know if I'd have any money. Would I? Do I have access to the professor's bank account when I get back up?
Was he? How much money?
Oh,
was
yeah,
he
how rich
carrying
was
with him,
he?
Too.
How rich is the professor? He loaded?
As well as like I'm sure like academic loans or something.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you the real question here. So obviously the food was heavy and the water was heavy, but he's carrying like a bunch of fucking coins to pay odds, man. That's adding weight.
Hang on, there's also all the explosive and guns they took as well, right?
And the explosives.
Yeah, and all the tools and everything.
Kill a lot for 3 people.
And they lost a
Yeah,
lot.
I know. How did they carry that?
I'm telling you, logistically, it's very interesting.
Or not possible.
Yeah.
I'd have to see what 2 months of food looks like for a person.
Yeah,
'cause
water,
I think that really
food,
makes or breaks it.
climbing crap, explosives, gun.
Vertical, like wall of rocks is also like a lot. Like,
Yeah. Well, didn't they throw the packs down?
Maybe. I know they lost a lot of stuff when they got flipped in the water or something.
Well, they did lose like all their food pretty much, I think.
They should have hunted the animals and messed up the ecosystem even more. Yeah, why didn't they like hunt animals?
because they didn't see me.
They fished a little bit.
Yeah,
The
they
only
fished
other
a little
animals
bit.
they saw were like dinosaurs. They couldn't.
Yeah,
come
go
to-
for the dinosaurs. Go kill the
They
humanoids.
didn't have their guns at that point.
They should have asked the humanoids for
The
research.
humanoids had like the pig. What were they like? Pig
They were like
creatures? I can't
pig,
remember.
pig something.
I don't know.
They were something weird.
Yeah.
Also, they were 12
Totally
feet
tall.
tall, and
You got to go up there and be like, "Yo, man,
we
I
wouldn't
need
be
some
able to
food."
communicate with them at all.
They're dead now. Or will be. They got no water anymore.
Was it fresh water down there, or was it salt?
The sea? I don't know if they mentioned if it was salt or fresh. It would it would have to be fresh, right? Because they no longer had access to their little river.
Were they drinking from it?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know because they didn't
they
have
might have
access to
filled
their
back
little
up.
river. I guess that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know how long they were in that open area.
I hope it
It's like
never
only a
fills
couple
up.
Days, right? So,
Kind of a cool little twist when the lightning ball flipped their compass and they didn't realize it.
Yeah, they had to walk back.
Well, no, they thought they ended
they-
up in the
they-
shore
yeah.
they left from, but they actually ended up on the opposite shore.
Well, this momentarily and still might have made me hate reading and hate books. There was no joy in this. I never felt joy. I never felt like I'm enjoying this activity when doing it, which is not how you should feel for anything, but especially this. And I hate book club, and I hope the next book gets me out of this, out of whatever this is, because it ain't nice. If this is how Sterling feels all the time, this ain't. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm excited.
I can't do it.
You know, I'm ready to do like 52 a year. You know, one a week.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I mean, I'm not gonna be a little bitch and take like 6 weeks, like somebody in here, but you know,
That'd be your Arjun.
well, you had to wait, and Sterling took I don't know how fucking long. And
Archie didn't get in late. He got in late, I think.
Sterling says he's gonna take even. He says he's gonna take even longer for the next one.
Yeah, I think we would definitely have to do something about the same length or shorter. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
gonna take a very long time.
Yep. I'm good. You know, you name it. I'm thinking we got to do like little spin-off clubs or something because I don't know.
Why?
I need a subclass or something.
What do you mean a subclass? What are you talking about? I already hate this club. Why would I want a sub club?
Yeah.
What would the sub club even be about?
You just go, you know, another book.
Isn't that just book club?
Yeah. But you can offset it.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Well, we had 2 book clubs going at the same time.
Yeah.
So I can doubly want to
Yeah.
fucking jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
No.
The heck?
I'm not even the guy you got to worry about. Sterling's the one you got to worry about reading the goddamn book.
I'll read it. I just, might be next year.
There you go. So book club every 2 times a year.
I think we could do one a month. But I just want to give a quick shout out to Harley.
Sterling's not going to do one a month.
I just want to, thank Harley for picking this book because I loved it.
That wasn't
I
a
hate
good choice. Thank you, Harlan.
I hated this book. Only reason I had to pick this book was because Sterling and I got any fucking money. We had to pick a free one.
Okay.
That's what your stipulation was. Or was it had to be free?
Here's a question I
Yeah.
have for us. How has the book changed your perception of the world?
It made me realize that
I want to kill myself.
Harley doesn't enjoy books nearly as much as I would have hoped.
That's because you're a fucking simp for books, man. You read too many books. That's all you do is read books.
No, that's not true.
Anybody who reads this
I'm
is going to
here
be
right
fucking
now.
miserable. A good
No,
majority of
I
people,
disagree.
a good majority of regular people
I
who
disagree.
read this are going to be miserable. A large majority of the population who haven't read this book that
No.
do are going to hate themselves and hate
No.
reading. You're crazy. A normal person? No.
Now, if you said indifferent, yeah. I'll
No,
give
I
you
think this is going to make them hate reading. Or
that. No.
or drill in their head.
It wasn't
That's
that
why-
bad.
no,
was
it's
not
gonna
that
be-
bad.
It's going to drill in their head. Oh, yeah, that's why I watch TV and movies and anything with an image. This is why. I'm going to go and watch the Brendan Fraser movie. There you go. This is why. This made me want to watch the Brendan Fraser movie. and the Rock one.
Are those both based off this book?
The first one loosely is, and then the second one's just a crappy sequel.
Well, I for one want to visit Iceland now, personally.
Too hot.
Because the guy all too hot.
I think they're pretty hot over there, man.
I don't think they're any hotter than we are.
I'm looking, 90-degree weather. Look up ice.
Maybe
I
today.
think they're even further north than us.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's raining. 50 degrees. That's too hot over there.
50 degrees.
That for them, that's like a blistering summer.
On splunking, because that's kind of like what they were doing to some degree.
You're gonna be one of those guys that go through those like 2-inch cracks in the fucking ground
Me, no.
and caves.
I'm not into splunking.
That's spelunking, man.
I'm saying I would personally do it, but what are your thoughts?
Oh, you're small enough that you could do it.
I know I could.
You think us fat Americans can get through those cracks? I'm taking you to the Nutty Putty Cave, Arjun. That's where I'm taking you
Is
to.
that where that 1% died or got stuck or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
get you down there. Sterling, how'd this book make you look at the world different?
No, it didn't make. I mean, I still like the French. So.
Whoa, Sterling, we have a lot of French audience here. You know, you can't say that.
Oh, I forgot you're still recording.
Oui.
Yeah, I hate the French.
Oh my. What about no. Okay. If they write like this, then yeah, they're kind of assholes. If they continuously write like this, then they're...
Now, okay. We're talking, the A Little Prince. Oh, that's my shit.
Is that
I love that. So good.
Wait, what? What do you love?
Little Prince.
What's that?
we watched the movie? Were you here
That's-
when we watched the
Oh,
movie?
That's some French shit right there. That's
It is a
good French.
I said French.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Oh man, that's a good book. I agree. I'll back you up on that one.
Well, maybe that's one we could get through on this. Then
You need to pick picture books. I think that's your problem for book club. You need to pick something with some pictures in it, and you'd be good.
I don't think the picture's going to help you because you're just going to queue it up on Audible, and then you're going to be like, "Wow, I couldn't see any of the pictures, so therefore this is a bad."
Well, no, if it's a picture book, then I'll actually pay attention at the pictures and not read the story. I'll be like, that was a cool photo. Yeah, we're reading a manga next. That's Sterling's book.
That'd be cool.
Okay. Hold on. Don't.
I just said
let's
that's
not get
cool.
too
I'm not like blowing my top because you said
That was close. You almost boiled over there.
Wait, if you said let's watch an anime, I'd be like, fuck yeah, man, let's go.
We should have anime club, but we can't. Cody won't let
I
us.
still want it to be. I want it to be mixed media club, not just books.
Cody won't let us do that.
I know.
It's only books all the time.
Books are fine, but I just want to get locked into.
This is a fucking fascist state, and we got to read goddamn books all the time in this fucking camp, man. I hate this. I hate it.
weeks for a 200-page book.
Yeah, because the fucking slow kids took a bunch of time. Sterling took I don't know how long. He's reading a page a day. Arjun's over here. He's got to get a goddamn flashlight under his blanket so he can read it. Noah's over at the library. He's got to fight off homeless people to get the book. There's no fucking way you're gonna get one done a month with Sterling. There's no way.
I read that one in 4 weeks. So that's a month.
5.
1. 4. Shut up.
But now you actually have to physically read them.
Yeah. Well, I'll just
No way you're
like, dedicate time.
Okay. I agree that one a month would probably be best, but please let me know so I can cancel my Audible off and on so I don't have to pay more than what it actually took me to read these books. I paid for 2 months.
I could have got you going on the second one.
I'm not like you. I'm not a cunt
I could've got you going.
who reads the whole book in one day and you're like,
I did it.
oh, did you read it? Oh,
I did
there you
it,
go.
I did it in one day.
You're an asshole because you took a week and
We said 2 weeks initially.
2 weeks.
Guess what,
and then
Molly? I had it queued up and ready.
No, you took 1 week, and then as soon as 1 week's over, you're like, boom, done. As soon as the second week started.
Yeah, because we're
Just
going to
pace yourself.
that Friday.
Yeah, you're supposed to pace yourself to the
Let's get
Friday.
through
You're
it,
not supposed to
man.
finish it in a week and a day. You're supposed to take all 2 weeks.
Didn't take very long.
I don't care. Take your time. You would have read it in a day.
Yeah, I probably could have, but I
Yes.
did it.
All right, Noah, pick the next book. So our readers can read along with us. Pick the next book.
I'm not sure.
What do we got? What do you want to read?
I don't know.
They got to know. We got to let them know. So
I
they can...
don't know. I don't know. I'm not. You
What
put me
the
on the
hell?
spot. I don't know.
We already told you you're picking.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Let's see what Sterling has. What do you got, Sterling?
Book of Five Rings.
Oh, that was-
God.
What is that?
I was me.
Oh,
Book of Nine Rings? Book of Five Rings?
5 rings.
it's a
Can I
philosophy
pick a
book.
37-hour audiobook?
Nah, it's pretty short. I think it's like
That
3
might-
hours or 4 hours.
No, I was saying, can I pick one?
Oh,
Please.
yeah.
37 hours.
Is that the book?
Maybe.
37 hours?
Yeah, the audiobook that I was gonna pick is 37 hours.
What is that?
I believe it is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel.
Oh, I thought the book was called 37 hours.
What's the title?
Lonesome Dove.
Oh, I want to read that. I'm good with that.
Lonesome Dove.
This is I read like
Is this-
first couple
is-
chapters.
Is this the book where, like you said, like me and Sterling were the characters or something?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And this is 37 hours long.
yeah.
What do you think about that, Sterling?
36
Western.
hours?
37.
That's a lot more than the one we just read.
Sometimes you gotta nut up, Sterling.
Sterling,
Not really.
this one won a Pulitzer Prize, and you and Harley remind me of the two main characters.
There you go.
And it was written in 1985, so
Yeah, it's a Western, Sterling.
You love Westerns.
Kind of cool.
At
You
least
gotta
I
finish
think
it.
is. I don't know.
You gotta finish it in a
I
month.
think it is too.
Is it similar to Blood Meridian?
I don't know.
I haven't read that one yet.
Is this a series or is this one book?
I think it has some sequels,
is.
but I think it is also first as a one-off. I'm not sure.
What's the first? Oh, just Lonesome
This
Dove.
is the first one, I believe.
What do you think, Sterling? Lonesome Dove.
So, I mean, I'll look at it.
Oh my god! All right,
We
viewers,
don't have to
you
do
have.
the whole thing either. We don't have to do the whole thing. We do like
All right, it's gonna be. It's either gonna be Lonesome Dove or 5 Rings. So one of those.
yeah. Let us.
So
You just read them.
readers at home, read them both so you can get cut some way out of this. And we'll only have to read one. So your homework is 2 books, and we only got 1 book. So that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think that sounds fair.
And I'm not picking the book because I'm miserable. I don't want to be miserable anymore from reading. I hurt.
I kind of want him to be miserable.
I kind of do too. I'm burning this camp down. I'm burning this book camp down. I'm on the edge, man. All right, there you go. That's our review / retrospective for Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Good
You
book.
will be miserable if you read it.
Good book.
Just a reminder.
It's okay.
It's barely fine to me,
Good book.
and I don't even want to say that. You a good book? Don't say good. Say okay. It's not a good book. You don't believe that. It's okay, book.
I think he does.
All right, I'm gonna sign off here.
Fine, book. Go ahead.